14 years after Julian Assange became a household name, his legal battle over the publication of thousands of highly classified documents is nearing an end this morning. In just 3 hours' time, we're expecting the Wikileaks founder to front a US court on the island of Saipan in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. There, he will plead guilty to espionage as part of a deal designed to get him home to Australia after years in a British prison.
The Australian citizen sensationally left the UK's Belmarsh prison yesterday, sparking headlines around the world. We're live with our correspondent in Saipan shortly, and we joined as well by the Deputy Prime Minister and Julian Assange's legal team over the course of the show. But first, let's go straight to our US correspondent Carrington Clark on Capitol Hill and political reporter Tom Lowry in our Parliament House Bureau. Good morning to both of you. Carrington, firstly to you, what are people in the US saying about this case today?
Well, much like is the situation in Australia, Julian Assange is a polarising figure here in Washington, but he has managed to pull together this quite strange coalition of supporters from the far left who see him as an anti-war crusader and as a defender of journalism, to the far right who see him as an anti-authoritarian figure and somebody who holds up a mirror to government and is willing to take on the establishment here. The most critical members, in fact, are what probably is best framed as the traditional conservatives. Yesterday, we quickly heard from the former Vice President Mike Pence, who said that this particular deal that will see Julian Assange released from custody was a miscarriage of justice and that he should not be framed as some sort of hero. And then we also heard today from the Senate leader of the chairman of the Armed Services Committee, who said that he does not want this framed as a journalistic hero, but instead someone who was admitting guilt now in a US court. On the other side, his defenders, those who have been advocating so strongly for Julian Assange here in the US Capitol, say they're elated that he will be released, but they are concerned that the only way he's able to be released is by admitting to these charges.
We feel like it's a bogus charge that he is pleading to, that it does hurt his integrity to have to do that, but we totally understand, and the most important thing is that he's going to be a free man.
When he faced real trial, there were no adequate defenses that he could find, and he simply admitted, yes, I'm guilty. He undermined the security of the United States. He did it systematically. He did it for his own gratification, self-promotion, etc. And that guilty plea speaks volumes.
Now, this contentious debate on how to view Julian Assange shows no end in sight, and it will surely be debated for years to come. But obviously the most pressing concern for his supporters and his family is that he arrives safely in Australia.
So, Carrington, will this be the end of the matter for Julian Assange's legal battle with the US government?
I think almost certainly not. His supporters have already suggested that they will continue to push for a presidential pardon. Julian Assange, if this deal is accepted, will be a convicted felon. His supporters want that expunged effectively. Now, this is a question that has been put to the presumptive Republican nominee, the former US President Donald Trump, who said that he would very, very seriously consider a pardon. And the cause of Julian Assange has been taken up by RFK Junior, who's running as a third-party candidate. He has become one of the strongest advocates for Julian Assange. He not only says that he would pardon Julian Assange, but he also believes a monument should be built in Washington, D.C. to him because of his advocacy for journalism. So this is not over yet, even if we haven't yet actually seen the agreement put into practice. But Julian Assange remains a hot topic here in Washington.